If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Your support helps us keep sharing incredible, unforgettable stories with you. Today, I want to tell you about an unexpected connection that developed when someone came to stay at my home for a short while. What began as a simple act of kindness slowly turned into something deeper, filled with playful tension, unexpected emotions, and moments that blurred the lines of what felt right. Hi, I'm Emily, 37 years old, married to David, who's 45. We live in Florianopolis, a breathtaking coastal city that feels like paradise. Our home is open and full of light, the kind of place that always feels ready to welcome someone new. David works as a long-haul truck driver, which means he's often gone for weeks at a time. I've learned to appreciate his dedication and the stability his job provides, but his long absences sometimes leave the house feeling too quiet, almost hollow. One evening, my friend Sarah called asking for a favor. Her brother, Alex, needed a place to stay in Florianopolis while he prepared for an important professional exam. I mentioned it to David, expecting some hesitation, but he immediately agreed. When Alex arrived, I was genuinely surprised by how much he had changed. Gone was the carefree, slightly awkward guy I'd met at a party years ago. In his place stood a confident, self-assured man whose presence seemed to brighten every corner of the room. There was something magnetic about him. And even though I tried to convince myself it was nothing more than curiosity, I couldn't ignore the quiet charm he carried. During our first meal together, I found myself paying more attention to our conversation than I usually would. He spoke with such passion about his exam preparation, his daily routine, and his personal goals. There was something admirable about his discipline and focus. While I kept my tone friendly and professional, a quiet part of me couldn't ignore the subtle tension that lingered in the air. With David away on another long trip, the house belonged only to Alex and me for a while. That's when I started noticing the small things, the way he listened so carefully, the warmth in his laugh, the respect in how he spoke to me. Those details began to stand out, and before I knew it, I was looking forward to our talks more than I should have. One afternoon after lunch, I asked Alex to help me with a few household chores. It was nothing special, just washing and drying dishes together, but somehow it felt different. As we stood side by side, our conversation flowed naturally. We spoke about everything from career goals to dream destinations, even sharing personal hobbies and thoughts we'd never voiced before. There was an ease between us that felt surprisingly comfortable. A light, playful energy began to build. I found myself teasing him about little things, a friendly challenge here, a small dare there, and he always met it with laughter, a faint blush, or a clever remark that made me smile. It was exciting in a way I hadn't expected, as if we were both quietly exploring how close we could get without crossing a line. By the end of the week, something between us had shifted. Our connection had grown stronger, defined by warmth, curiosity, and that unspoken tension that neither of us wanted to name. It was no longer just about being a good host. It had become a quiet story of connection, discovery, and the emotions that arise when two people find comfort in each other's company. Unexpected ways relationships can grow. In the days that followed, I began to plan small, intentional moments, sharing my favorite books, suggesting movie nights, and inviting Alex to explore the city with me. Each of these moments added another layer to our connection, making it feel easy, natural, and sincere. I started to see how genuine relationships often don't follow predictable patterns. They form quietly, in laughter shared over small things, in comfortable silences, in moments of trust that sneak up on you. That's when I realized something profound. Sometimes, life's most beautiful stories don't happen because we go searching for them, but because we stay open to simple human connections that shift the way we understand ourselves and others. As the days went by, hosting Alex became something more than just having a guest under my roof. It turned into a collection of small, meaningful interactions that brought new warmth to the house. Every morning felt livelier. I'd catch myself watching him as he brewed his coffee, read at the dining table, or quietly prepared for his exam. Each moment a reminder of how his presence had changed the rhythm of my days. One morning, I decided to make breakfast for the two of us. Something a little special. I tried a new recipe I'd come across online, pancakes topped with fresh fruit and homemade syrup. The smell filled the kitchen as I flipped the pancakes carefully. Just then, Alex walked in, rubbing his eyes and yawning. "Wow, that smells incredible," he said with a genuine smile. "You really didn't have to do this, Emily." I laughed softly and replied, I know, but I thought it'd be nice to start the day with something sweet. The day with something sweet. Besides, it gives us a reason to talk before your study marathon begins, I said with a smile. The way Alex appreciated even the smallest gestures made me realize how much our dynamic had shifted. It wasn't about politeness anymore. It was about being genuinely present for each other, sharing moments that felt easy and real. That afternoon, I suggested we take a walk along the nearby beach. Florianopolis is known for its stunning coastline, and the weather that day couldn't have been better. We talked about everything: career ambitions, favorite books, hidden hobbies, the kind of conversations that unfold naturally when you're at ease with someone. I noticed how comfortable he'd become around me, and how effortlessly I mirrored that same comfort. At one point, I challenged him to a little game, skipping stones across the water. He laughed, trying over and over, missing most of his throws while I couldn't stop teasing him. Maybe you just need more practice, I said, trying to keep a straight face. Or maybe I just need a better teacher, he shot back, grinning. Moments like that built a quiet, meaningful bond between us. No pressure, no expectations, just two people enjoying the simplicity of being together. When we returned home, I started noticing small changes in the way we interacted. Alex began leaving little notes around the house, sometimes a silly joke, sometimes a reminder about an upcoming study session. It was innocent, thoughtful, and unexpectedly endearing. I caught myself smiling every time I found one. So I decided to respond in kind, leaving small notes for him, too.